Good evening, students. In today's class, I'm going to explain the system response using transfer function and differential equations. Okay. For this, I'll be using one new model which we have not learned so far, a Python module, that is SciPy, that is scientific computation. So you can go to the documentation of this here and learn this independently now. You don't need anybody's help for this, since you know how to use the other packages. Similar to that, this also has got a lot number of functions which are helpful in scientific computations. Especially, it has got a signal function, using which I'll just show you what is that signal. So using which you can find out convolution, filtering, then discrete time linear system, then representation, Windows functions, all these things which you have done in your DSP lab, you can do that using SciPy. Okay. So in today's class, I'll be using that for solving the differential equations, ordinary differential equations with initial conditions, and also to get the system response through differential equations, and also for transfer function representation of the system, how to get the response of the system. So for that, this SciPy works along with NumPy. So I'll import both NumPy and SciPy. So import NumPy as NP, and from SciPy, import the signal. So only signal function function of the SciPy module I'm importing. And another function which helps in solving the differential equation is SciPy.integrate. From that, ODEINT, that is ordinary differential equation with integrator solver, ODEINT. I'm importing that from SciPy.integrate. And then import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT to get the plot of the response of the system. So as a first example, I've taken first order differential equation given by dy by dt is equal to minus k into y of t with initial conditions y of 0 is equal to 0. Okay. So to solve any system for its response with the initial conditions, we have to define the model for this differential equation. So that is done in this line. First, let me remove all the outputs, rerun this kernel. Okay. So we are defining a model which is having two arguments. One is the output y and another one is the time t. And here we are giving the differential equation, first order differential equation, which is dy by dt is equal to minus k into y. This returns dy by dt. Okay. So let me run the first cell. Next, so I'll call this function using the ODINT. Okay. So I'll call the output as y1. Okay. And ODINT. And the argument for this is the model that we define as a function here. Then initial conditions. This y0 represents the initial conditions and the independent variable t. So before we call this, we have to make the preparations as, see, first I'll take initial condition 0. And what is the value of k? What are the initial conditions? Here it is as first order differential equation. So we need only one initial condition. And let me change this order of this. And also, I must prepare the x-axis or the independent variable between which point to which point I want it. So I'm arranging this as linear space using NumPy, np.linspace 0, 20. So this 20 points in a linear fashion, I'm organizing it and making it as an array of t. So these are the two values that we have to give it to the model where they are unknown. Okay. So when I call this ODIENT with model, comma, y0, that is initial conditions, comma, independent variable, it goes to this and returns y as y, which will be assigned to the variable y1. So our solution of this differential equation is y, and that is return dy by dt means return the solution of this first order differential equation. Okay, you must read like this. So if it is second or third higher orders, we must break it into a set of first order differential equations as we do while modeling using state space representation. And those set we have to give here between define and return. And the return will return the solution of all those first order differential equations that we defined in this model. Okay, here now this is only one first order differential equation. So that is defined by dy by dt is equal to minus k into y. And it returns the solution of this dy by dt. Okay. So when I call this using this ODINT, I get the solution of this dy dt, and that will be assigned to the variable name y1. So next I'll plot that y1 against the time t, that is the response of the system. Response of the system. So I'll run this. What happened? Because initial condition is 0 and this is a function where it don't have an input signal. If you remember here, this is dy by dt is equal to minus k into y of t, which is a differential equation. Dy by dt plus k into y of t is equal to 0. That means it is not forced. So the solution that we get is the natural response of the system. So which depends on what initial condition that we give. Now that I have given initial condition as 0, so the natural response is 0 only. Suppose if I change it to some value, see here. So initially its value is 5. I have given initial condition as 5. Initially it is 5, and it will die down to 0 as the time progresses. Okay. So if you take some more time, it will come to 0. You can observe. Say, suppose I'll take it as some 50, time as 50. You just see it has come to 0. So this is how this ODINT works. So let me take a second order differential equation. One more first order differential equation with the input u given. Okay. So this is another equation. Dy by dt is equal to given by minus 1 by tau p into y plus kp by tau p into u, where u is the input. So here again I define this model as model 3, which is a function of which has argument y and t. So the independent variable and dependent variable. And here I am giving the input as u is equal to 1, which represents a step input. Okay. So this returns the solution of the first order differential equation, which is, if I take this 1 by tau p common, this will be minus y plus kp into u, 1 divided by tau p. Okay. So I'm initializing this kp with 2 and tau p as 0.1 and a new time scale t3 as linear space between 0 to 14 having 100 points. And I'm calling this ODINT with this model 3 and 0 initial conditions, and the time scale is t3. And the solution that it returns after solving this first order differential equation is assigned to the variable name y3. So this y3, I'll plot it against the new time scale t3 with this new line width, and I'll label this label is for the curve, not the label for the whole plot. Okay. So if I do that, see if I define the model in this way, where I'm giving a step input and giving the initial values for this kp and tau p, defining a new time scale and calling this ODINT function from SciPy, which will evaluate this model 3 with 0 initial conditions and independent variable is T3. So then plot that. Let me run this. Now you see it has got 0 initial conditions, but it is excited with a step input of magnitude 1, that is unit step input. Okay. Since this Kp is 2, which is the numerator of this, it will be amplified to final value is 2. So it will settle down to 2. This time constant tau p is 1. That is why, because it is 1, it is over damped, critically damped, we can say. So it doesn't have any oscillation. See, I can change this Kp and tau p and observe what is the nature of the response of this first order system. So if I change Kp to 1, it will settle to 1. Okay, final steady state value is 1. Suppose if I make this tau p as less than 1, say 0.5. So it is taking, what is the time taken? You can make this an interactive graph and measure the time constant of this function. What is the settling time? All those things you can measure here. So this is the first order differential equation solution with input, that is forced response. Okay, so the complete response of this system described by the first order differential equation, which is dy by dt plus 1 by tau p into y minus r is equal to kp by tau p into u. When I take this to the left hand side, it becomes of that form. Okay, so we have seen a first order differential equation which is not excited by any input, how we define the model, and when it is excited by a step input, this is the step response of the first order differential equation given by this. Now let me move on to a second order differential equation, which is of the form d square by dt square plus 2 zeta tau into dy by dt plus y, that is equal to kp into u. So this is a second order differential equation excited by this input u, and it has got a damping coefficient zeta and time constant tau. So with the initial conditions, we shall also consider the initial conditions. So first let us define all these constants zeta, kp, tau and all. We initialize it for some initial value. So kp is the gain. I'm putting 2.0 for that. Tau is 1.0. This is the time constant. And zeta is the damping coefficient or damping factor, which I'm initially keeping it for 0.25. If there is no time delay, this theta is 0. And a change in the input is, I'm taking it as 1. That is the step input. So we define a model. Let me call it as a different model than the one we have used in the previous steps. That is model 2, which is having arguments x and t. Okay. So what is this x and t? So now we have to break this. Let me take down that, show you the PPT. Did I keep it? Anyway, without that also I can do. So what is it? How we are breaking? See, this is a second order system. So we break this into two first order differential equations. For that, we define a variable. We call output y as equal to some new variable x of 0. And then dy by dt, that is first differential of this y as x of 1. and differentiate it once again, this y, that gives you d square y by dt square, which will be equal to, take all these terms to the right hand side, that will be equal to minus 2 zeta tau dy by dt minus y plus kp into du whole divided by tau square. I think this has got tau square also. Okay, tau square into d square y by dt square is the original equation. Okay, so taking this d square y by dt square on the left hand side and the remaining terms to the right hand side, I get the second differential of this y, d square y by dt square as so much. Okay, so now what it does, when this is called with the function ODINT, defining the model as model 2, and now this is a second order differential equation, I need to describe two initial conditions for this to get the solution. So that is enclosed within this. It is given as an array. So 0, 0. Initially, I'm giving an initial conditions of 0, 0. And I'm defining the new time scale as T3 given by 0 to 5, having 100 points in a linear space. And that independent variable also I have to give as an argument for this ODINT. Okay. So while defining the model for the second order differential equation, I have split it into these equations. First, y is equal to x of 0, then dy by dt is x of 1, then d square by dt square is equal to so much. So what will this return? It will return the solution of dy by dt and the solution of d square y by dt square. So what is the solution of dy by dt? Can anyone tell? When you solve this first order differential equation dy by dt, what is the solution that you get? Anyone? Nobody?
Maybe ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಯಾಕೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಓದ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. You study it so many places. And just now also I said previously, solution of the first order differential equation dy by dt is y. And if you get the solution of this second order term d square y by dt square, that is integrated by integration method. So solution of this d square y by dt square will be equal to dy by dt. So after executing this function definition, it will return y, dy by dt. So the first term in this array is going to be, or the first term in this list is going to be y, and the second term in the list is going to be dy by dt. So that we can plot the function and its first derivative and observe the variations. Okay. So derivative of a function always indicates how the signal is taking the turn. Okay, because it represents the slope of the curve at any point of time. Okay. So now that is what T3 is defined like this, and X3. So whatever returns here, dy by dt and solution of dy by dt and d square by dt square, that will be represented as a list with the name X3. So our X3 of colon comma 0, that is the first column of this X3, will represent our solution Y3. And the second column of the X3 will represent Y4, which is nothing but the differential of d by dt of Y3, which represents the slope of the signal Y3. And here these two lines are plotting Y3 and its derivative with respect to T3 using two different colors, red and green. And the second one I'm also representing not by a line plot, but a plot with markings plus, and how to give the line width And now I want to give a legend to this graph because there are two plots to identify which plot represents the signal and which plot represents its derivative. I'm giving the label for Y3. It is the one ordinary differential equation integrator, not ordinary. This is actually, I will call it as Y3. Okay. And this as Y3 dash. Okay. Which is the first order derivative of, I'll enclose it within double quote, Y3 dash. Okay. Now let me run these two cells. So for these values, Kp is equal to 2, tau is equal to 1, and zeta is equal to 0.25. I'm getting the curve between 0 to 5. Let me increase this instead of 5, let me increase the time scale to 10. You can observe the, I'll increase further. You can observe the oscillations because I'm giving zeta is equal to 0.25, which represents an underdamped system. So the output Y3 for a step input, which is oscillating, and since the this amplifying factor Kp is 2, the final steady state value is 2. And if I give it as 1, it is going to be the step response where it will settle down to 1. Okay, so the final steady state value is 1. And the second graph represents the slope of this signal at different points. So now if I run this using that interactive plot, let me import that matplotlib notebook. So that this became an interactive plot. Now you can measure the slope. So this has got 0 slope at its peak values, is it not? Now you can see, if you take your cursor here, you see that when y is maximum, y is maximum 1.443 at x is equal to 3.01, our dy by dt is 0. See, at 3. What was that? 3.18. Somewhere here. So it crosses 0 somewhere here, which represents the slope of this curve. So similarly here, corresponding to this line, it is crossing the 0 here. Okay. So and at 0 points, it will have maximum values. So whenever it crosses the, so it doesn't cross the 0, but this is how we get the plot of the response and its derivative. Understood? Any doubt here? What happened today?
No, ma'am, no doubts.
All are tired of working out assignments, is it?
No, ma'am,
Oh.
not like that.
Okay. That is how we solve the differential equation to get the response of the system. It is important to know the step response of the system to find out the its various other qualities, characteristics of the system. You know it in your control system, how important it is to find the step response of the system. Next, let me take how to solve this system for its response if the transfer function of the system is given. Okay, one more problem is here. So here the same problem, dy by dt is equal to minus k into y. Suppose if I change this k value for 3 different k, how we can get the 3 curves with 3 different values of k. K is equal to 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3. So first time when I give k is equal to 0.1 and call this ODINT using the same model here, but I am representing the output that I get after returning from here as y1. After returning from here, the output I get is the solution of this dy by dt, which is the output y that I am assigning it to y1. So here one more argument is given when I call this ODINT. That is called arg is equal to, then k comma as a tuple. Here the value of k is given as a tuple, k comma enclosed within the curved brackets. So this is the one more argument which gives you for different values of k, you get different outputs. So first time when I call it with k is equal to 0.1 with the same args is equal to k comma in tuple form, I'll get the output y1. So next I'll change the value k is equal to 0.2. So when I call ODINT here, for this argument k comma tuple, it will take k is equal to 0.2 and solves this differential equation and returns the output that will be designated as the new output y2. So next time it is called with k is equal to 0.5. So that is taken for this argument and solves the differential equation, returns the output y, and that is designated by y3. Now we are plotting this using plt.plot against the time. Time is common for all the three. T is equal to linspace 0, 20. So t comma y1, t comma y2, and t comma y3. So in order to identify which plot belongs to which value of k, we are giving the label to the curve as label is equal to within quotes as a string k is equal to 0.1, and for the next one k is equal to 0.2, for the third one k is equal to 0.5. And then I'll asking it to give the legend on the graph sheet and show the grid and also show the graph. So let me run this cell. Now you see we have three graphs and initial value y0 is 5. Initial value given is 5. So it is starting from 5. And if you remember, this is a natural response it gives because we have not defined any input to this system described by dy by dt plus ky is equal to 0 is the differential equation of the system. So output with initial condition 5, it gives the natural response. The initial value 5 will die down to 0 as the time progresses. Maybe it is a response of a capacitor with initial voltage on the capacitor as 5, or it may be an inductor with initial value of the current as 5, and then it's decreasing to 0 as time progresses. Okay, so the three plots for k is equal to 0.1 is blue, 0.2 is this orange, 0.5 is green. So you see here as this k value increases, what is k? How the curve takes different shapes. Okay, so that is about the one more way in which we can call the model with different parameters which are included in this model definition, and how we can get the graphs independently and plot it on the same graph sheet like this. Okay, next we shall move on to transfer function representation and how to get the response of the system using the transfer function. So here this is an example where step response of a system is obtained from the transfer function of the system, and the transfer function is defined by a general transfer function of first order system, which is kp divided by tau p into s plus 1, where s is that Laplace transform variable. So this is the first order differential transfer function of the first order system. So here the numerator is kp and denominator is a first order linear equation with coefficients tau p and 1. So if you remember your DSP class, we called the transfer function by its numerator and denominator coefficients. Same thing is used here. So initially we defined what are the constants kp, then tau p, and then we define what is the numerator and denominator in the form of lists. So numerator is having only one item, that is Kp. So that is enclosed within this square bracket to indicate that numerator coefficients. And then denominator coefficients are coefficient of S and then constant value. They are always inputted to this list in the order starting from the highest order of the S term that is appearing in the denominator. So now highest power of S is 1. So that is taken first. Coefficient of that is tau p. And then next one is constant, which is 1. So now these are the numerator and denominator of the transfer function. Then we define a system designated as sys1 from the SciPy. So this is imported from the library SciPy dot integrate. Okay. So we call that SciPy. We also call the transfer function from the same signal dot transfer function, and then give what is the numerator and denominator coefficients given by the variable names num and den. Next, the signal dot step will solve this transfer function for a step input. Okay, so this transfer function representation of the system is given by sys1, and that is given for this signal dot step to get the step response of the system. So what are the outputs that we get by solving this signal dot step within bracket sys1? I get the independent variable t1 and the response y1. It will be in this order, t1 comma y1. Next, plt dot plot this t1 y1 versus t1 in a blue and dash line like this with a line width 3 label given. This is not necessary because there is only one curve in this. Okay, so let me run this. So when I run this, I get this. This is the response of the system with the transfer function. Transfer function is defined with 0 initial condition. So that is why our response is starting from 0. There is no question of giving initial conditions when you represent the system by means of a transfer function. So this is the response of the system by using a transfer function representation for a first order system. So let us take a second order system. So same system, Kp divided by, the numerator is just Kp, and the denominator is a second order linear expression in S, and it is given by tau square into S square plus 2 zeta tau into S plus 1. Okay. So again, we shall define the values for this Kp, tau, zeta, and theta. Since time delay is not there, if you want to give a time delay, you can give that and observe the output waveform. And then the change in input, that is a step input. Next, define the numerator and denominator. So numerator is Kp and denominator is tau square, is the S square term coefficient. And next coefficient of S is 2 zeta tau, and then the constant term is 1. So now we have defined the numerator and denominators of this transfer function, and we call this signal dot transfer function to construct the system sys1 with the numerator and denominators defined by these two lines. And then we solve this transfer function using the signal dot step, and then give that system which is in the transfer function representation to get the time and the output, which are designated by t1 and y1. Then plot this t1 and y1 into du. Du is our step signal. Then this is B, it is color and line width and label these things. So let me run this cell and also this. Now you see here, because zeta is, what is the zeta value is 1. So it is critically damped. Let me change the its final value is 2. We can change this zeta value and make it under damped 0.25. You can observe the oscillations. So final value is 2 because Kp is 2. So now let me give a delay of, say, some 0.2. And let me observe. I have not seen this. Maybe 0.2 is too small. I'm not able to make it. Anyway, that is how I think you have not studied that also, system with time delay. So let us not worry about it. Okay, this is the response of the system for a second order differential equation, second order system, when the system is represented by means of transfer function. Okay. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No? Shall I close for